Hey everybody on my channel. This video is going to be a little bit different. I think you can tell by the way that I'm opening this up that I'm going to be talking about some people that may not be with us anymore that are passed away because I'm using pictures. This is kind of like me sharing with all of you some of the people that were influential in my life that I miss, some of which are passed away, some of which don't speak to me for their own reasons. But I'm going to go ahead and start with the person that I'm focused on right now, which is my, basically, she's like my sister. I can't really call her an ex-sister-in-law because, she passed away in 2007. And I was really close to her. She was the biological aunt to my children. Pretty much knew her the whole time I was with her brother until she passed away. And sweetest person you would ever meet. And the uncanny thing about it was her name was Kimberly also. So you can imagine how confusing that was, having both of us in the same house and somebody yelling Kim because we both say yes. Just a little confusing, but those are, I just remember her being such a sweet person. And yeah, it might have been years ago since she passed away, but she left her mark on my life. She did what she loved until the moment she was gone. That kind of person, you want to try to live like her and pursue what you want to do, because life is very short. And she didn't even make it to her 40s. I think she was in her late 30s when she passed. So it really does serve as a lesson of, pursue your dreams. Enjoy your life, because you are not promised another day. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the next people. Okay. Again, moving along with a couple of people that are no longer living, that meant the world to me when they were living, and they still mean the world to me now that they're gone. Most of you probably do not know who these people are. If you do know, then this might be boring, but for those that don't know, that was my grandmother, and this was my grandfather. Believe it or not, this is the only, two pictures that I actually have of them. And the sad thing is I got them after they had passed away. It's the only thing I have, and you know what, I didn't want anything else but pictures of them anyway, because nothing material that they had could ever, come close to who they were. These people, you're probably gonna, laugh, but, my grandparents took me into their home and kept me with them, even though I wasn't their kid, okay? Their daughter left me there because she's just not mother material. And, they did right by me and took care of me until my mother decided to have me removed, which I'll not go into. But up until that point, before I was taken away from them, they raised me right. Yeah, they might have been a little bit extreme sometimes with the punishments, but you know what? It served the purpose of, helping me become the person I am now. I remember pissing that man off a lot when I was younger. and it was not pretty. Because he was not one that cowered. I remember many times we actually standing toe to toe, yelling at each other, our noses almost hitting each other by the tip, because we were butting heads. Of course, that wasn't until my later years, but still, I remember that. He was a very, very big part of the discipline in the house, because his word was basically law. And you did what he said. Otherwise, guess what? It didn't matter how old you were. He would bend you over accordingly, and you would get your ass spanked with a belt. That's how old school he was. And I know my grandmother might look very sweet in this picture. She's kind of smiling. Her eyes are closed. She's kind of relaxing in the picture. But I'll guarantee you this right now. Just because she looks all nice and sweet in the picture don't mean she ain't got she had a side of her that you didn't want to see if you made her mad. Believe me, I have seen the lovable sweetness that they had in them, and I've seen the disciplinary, I'm going to scare the shit out of you looks they gave me too. You know, she was more of the untraditional when it came to things, and he was more of the traditional. So, they kind of blended well. They're different in their ways of doing things. So, I'm not going to bore you guys too much with talking about them and making you look at their pictures for an extended period of time, because you may not want to, and I can understand. Maybe I'll talk about them more at another time. I just wanted to show their pictures and say a little bit about them at least. And I'll move on to the next ones. Alright, this is kind of a crappy picture, but it's the best one I have. This is a photo of the house as it is today. Okay, it was redone. Like, my uncle went in after my grandparents passed away, and he redid the entire house. This house was completely different before it was redone and renovated and everything. I can tell you what is completely different here. The door that you're looking at is the front door to go out in the yard, because you see the yard right here. That door was not like that when they were living there, and I was living there. The door we had was actually a solid, like a very solid door. I don't know what it was made out of, but it had no window in it. You couldn't see through the door. So that's one thing that's changed. The color of the house has changed because it's not yellow anymore. When I was growing up and when I still lived there, the house was yellow, and now it's not. It's really kind of hard to see the rest of the house because I don't have any other pictures. This was a very quick, basically sighting of the house when I was able to get there. And this was the only picture that I really had time to take. So, yeah, this is the place where I grew up at. And a lot of memories in that house. I don't care if it's been remodeled. You know, the memories still live there. And I just hope that my cousin, who's living in the house now, really is enjoying that, because you know what? For all the time, I kept saying I wanted to live in the house if something happened to my grandparents, and I didn't get the chance. So, such is life with family, right? Anyway, we're going to move on to the next picture. Alright, well, this is a photo of where I went for elementary school. Pretty self-explanatory. And yes, this is the only picture I have of the school, too. I only took the picture that had the name of the school, because I thought it was the best photo, anyway. I went there from kindergarten to the grade of, like, 4th, and then I was moved to a different school for different reasons, so I'm not going to make this too terribly long about the school pictures. I just thought I would share them just to, share something of my life with you. So, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright guys, here is the next picture. It's kind of like not that good either. I think it's the lighting, honestly, and the light reflecting off the picture. There we go. Now we can see it a little better. This is where I went to high school for the last year that I went. And it is where I'm from in Cali. And you can see when it was taken. Well, the year it was taken right there. Last year. I don't really have a whole lot of school memories in Oroville, where I was raised at, because of some things that happened, so. But nonetheless, you know, when I was there, I took pictures of things that I thought I might want to share with somebody someday, and yeah. Anyway, not a whole lot to say about that one, so moving right along. Yes, as you can tell, this is a group photo, and almost everybody in this picture I'm related to. I'm not going to name off everybody, but I will say my uncle's in it, my aunt is in it, my great aunt is in it. Actually, 2 of my great aunts are in it. I have cousins in there. Yeah, it's a lot of people that I'm related to. Sadly enough, my Aunt Dorothy right there, she's passed away. She died a few years ago. My uncle is not speaking to me. That's him right there in that shirt. It's bad. There we go. Didn't think it would focus, but that is him. My cousin, which I'm not able to actually get a hold of because she refuses to talk to me, is right there. Me and her practically grew up together as sisters, but she doesn't talk to me, so you know what? Not going to bother. Only reason I'm sharing this is because I wanted to say, you know, I love these people because they're my family, but yet they don't have anything to do with me, and reasons are unknown why most of them won't talk to me. About the only person I hear from is, if I can get it to focus, well, you can't really see her that well, but right there, that is my aunt right there. You can't really, there we go, it focused a little there. Yeah. She's about the only person that talks to me, and her husband is standing right next to her. They're about the only ones I really hear from, so. Now my grandparents are passed away. And I hear from, you know, my mother every now and again when she feels like talking to me, but it's not the way it should be. I'm going to go ahead and show you the last picture here. This is more of a better picture for some of the immediates here. My cousins, there's my aunt, my uncle, and my cousins and their spouses and kids and all that stuff. Yeah, it's really sad when only one person right there is speaking to me out of my whole family. And don't think that I did something terrible for them not to, because I didn't do anything that bad. We all have a past. We all make mistakes. But yet, you know, any mistake I made just, I guess, wasn't forgiven the same way as other people. So, only way I can explain it to myself to make any sense out of it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope I didn't bore you guys by making this video. Hope it wasn't too boring. I do have different other pictures that I could share, but I'm not really sure if you guys would like to see them on film or not, on video. If you would like to, comment below, and maybe I'll do another one in the future. If this sucks totally, be honest with me. Just comment and tell me, please don't do this, it's boring. But if you really did like it, please let me know too, because, you know, that matters to me. So, anyway, y'all have a good one. I will talk to you all later. Bye.